Okay, here we have another interesting example. The following circuit, it says that the question says that find h of s, which is equal to v of s over VIS. So we again want to find the relationship between the output voltage, so that is the voltage across the 5 ohm resistor, over our input voltage. And we have two capacitors here in this equation, and I want to use a different trick on rewriting the equation, or redrawing the circuit in terms of its Laplace equivalent. And we know we have 0.2 farad. We know that it's equal to j omega c, and this is 1 over s 0.2, and the Laplace equivalent of that is 5 over s. And for the 0.1 farad, we have 1 over j omega c, which is equal to 1 over s 0.1, which is equal to 10 over s. Okay, and we can redraw this. Let me not redraw it. I'm just going to write the Laplace equivalence in terms of this circuit. Here we have 5 over s, and here we have 10 over s, instead of redrawing the whole thing. And we have I2 here, and you have I1 here. Okay, and since I'm writing this in terms of the Laplace equivalent, here we are going to have VIS, here we are going to have V naught of S. Resistors, I can leave the resistors for now. So let's solve this equation using our mesh analysis. For the loop 1, we have, I'm just writing this in terms of Laplace because it will be a little bit faster instead of writing the equation and turn it into a Laplace domain, etc., etc. But if you want to do it in the time domain first, then apply the Laplace transform, you are at liberty to do that. So we have Vs minus 2 times I1 of S minus 10 over S times I1 of S minus I2 of S. So I can just rewrite this: Vs minus 2 times I1 of S minus 10 of S times I1 of S plus 10 of S times I2 of S. And I can take the equation on the other side. I just want to, this is supposed to be equal to, or this was equal to 0, because everything is on this side. This is also equal to 0. I can take the equation on the other side just to get rid of this minus signs. So I can say I have 2 I1 of S plus 10 over S I1 of S minus 10 over S I2 of S is equal to V of S. And we can factor the I1 of S out. So we are going to have 2 plus 10 of S times I1 of S minus 10 over S I2 of S is equal to V of S. Okay, so that part is done. Next we are going to look at the second mesh 2. We have 10 over S times I2 of S minus 10 over S times I1 of S plus 5 over S times I2 of S plus 5 times I2 of S is equal to 0. Okay, so you can see that I2 is going through here, through this capacitor, and is also going through this resistor. And also since here we have I1 going this side and I1 and I2, because remember, if this is going this side and this is coming out here. Okay, so you're gonna have the difference as well between the I1 and I2 in that around that capacitor. So we are going to factor out our I2. So we have 10 over S plus 5 over S, 5 over S plus 5 times I2 over S minus 10 over S times I1 over S is equal to 0. So, and to simplify this, this is going to be 15 over S plus 5 times I2S minus 10 over S times I1 over S. I1 times I1 of S is equal to 0. We have our two equations. Let me just rewrite our two equations, what we had from mesh 1. So from mesh 1 we had 2 plus 10 over S I1 of S minus 10 over S I2 of S is equal to V of S. And for mesh 2 we had minus 10 over S I1 of S plus 15 over S plus 5 times I2 of S is equal to 0. That's the format that we want, so that we can apply our Cramer's rule on this equation. And we say that we want to put it into the matrix format, and I'm going to open up our A matrix brackets times something is equal to something. So, and in these columns we know we are going to put in something that is common, which is I1, and I2 is common to all of them because it's multiplied by all of them, and it's equal to V of S and 0. And in the first line we have 2 plus 10 over S. Second one we have minus 10 over S, and we have also here minus 10 over S, and we have 15 over S plus 5. Applying the Cramer's rule, we want to solve for I2, and just say solve for I2 using Cramer's. So I2 of S is equal to, you take the determinant of 2 plus 10 over S, and your V of S minus 10 over S and 0, okay, over the determinant of 2 plus 10 over S minus 10 over S minus 10 over S, and here we have 15 over S plus 5. So you take the determinant of that, and when you simplify that, you are going to have 10 over S times V of S over 50 over S squared plus 80 over S plus 10. I don't like working with fractions, so you need to get rid of them. Whenever you have fraction, just try and get rid of them. Simplify as much as you can. So we can multiply top and bottom by S squared to get rid of the fraction. If you multiply by S squared and S squared, okay, let's do the bottom first. So I2 of S is equal to, get rid of that S squared, so you're gonna have 50 plus 80 S plus 10 S squared, and the numerator you're going to have 10 S V of S. You see, now it looks much better and it's nice and clean. Get rid of fractions. I don't like them. Okay, so we know that V naught is the voltage drop across the 5 ohm resistor. So we can say that, let me just go back to this circuit so that you can see. So we want the V naught, the voltage drop across this. Okay, so V naught is equal to, so the voltage drop across the resistor, basic Ohm's law, resistance times the current. So resistance is 5, the current is I2. Okay, so we are going to bring that into our equation. So let me just rewrite it again in green. So we know that V naught is equal to 5 ohms times I2 of S. Okay, now we just need to rewrite that equation. We are going to rewrite that in terms of that. Okay, so we can say that from here I2 is equal to V naught over 5. Okay, then we can substitute, then we can write that in terms of that equation. So we have V naught over 5 is equal to 10s Vs over 50 plus 80s plus 10s squared, and all you gotta do is cross multiply. This times that will give us, the first one you have V naught times 50 plus 80s plus 10s squared is equal to 5 times 10, that's 50 s VFS. Okay, now it's easy to write the ratio, so therefore V naught over Vs is equal to 50s over 10s squared plus 80s plus 50. You can simplify this further. If you leave it in this format, it's still fine, but I like simplifying things. If you divide everything by 10, then on top you're gonna have 5s over s squared plus 8s plus 5. Okay, this is your final answer.